Hello everyone, I hope you're doing well. Today, the subject of my lecture is drafting your paper. The summary of the lesson is by now you have done a lot of work on your assignment and you are probably feeling pretty ready to start writing. This lesson will show you how to get started writing. It will explain the drafting process and give you tips on how to begin a first draft of your paper. You will learn how to write topic sentences and paragraphs. You will also learn how to overcome the writer's block. So the focus of the today's lecture is on the topic sentences or how to write a paragraph or how to fit a topic sentence in the paragraph and how to utilize the thesis statements and how to support your topic sentence with the supporting details. So you have a topic and an outline and you are ready to start writing. You know what you want to say and you have an idea of how you would like to say it. What is next? Drafting. So if you have everything in your mind, right? If you have a topic, if you have an outline and now you're ready to start, what you should do right now? You should first start drafting instead of starting the final draft. You will just start with a rough draft, right? What is drafting? Drafting means writing a rough or scratch form of your paper. It is a time to really focus on the main ideas you want to get across in your paper. Yes, drafting means that you are going to write, you are going to dash down your points, or you are going to uh, write your points in a rough or a kind of on a rough or a kind of scratch paper, right? It should not be very rough or a scratch. It should be still readable, right? And you can still be able to save your information on the paper, right? And in this drafting, you will not write the details, right? The minor details. You will just focus on the main ideas, right? Or the main points. When drafting, you will during while drafting you will skip sections, or you can say uh, you will make notes to yourself, and then you will when you will come back to writing, you will be able to use those notes, and then you will also be able to add more examples, and then you will also be able to check your facts later as well. So drafting is useful in these aspects as well. So while drafting, you need not worry about grammar, spelling, or punctuation, right? Because when you will have enough time. If you have enough time, you can again come back to your writing and you can correct your grammar, spelling, or punctuation. And of course, you might be or you must be very much familiar with the rough drafting. Rough drafting is a kind of the first version of your paper, and it will not be perfect. It cannot be final, and it's the version. It is not. It's not that version that you will show to your readers or your audience, right? It is usually the version. It is also not usually the version that you will be graded on the basis of that version in the class or in any other exam, etc. Right? It is the first rough drafting, and on the basis of that draft or that drafting, you will start a neat or the final version later. If you have enough time, then you will write later, and you have short time again. You will find your first drafting useful in writing the final version of your answer. Let's move toward the next point. Drafting strategies. Open any book or newspaper and you will see right away that the text is divided into paragraphs. Yes, whenever you see a text is almost always divided into paragraphs, right? Essentially, your job is in the drafting process is to translate your outline. So, what do you do in the drafting process? Uh, you just outline, you just write down a dash on the main points, and then what you will have to do in the final while writing the final variant, you will just translate you will just expand on those main points, and you will be able to then write a complete essay or a paper along with other good ideas you have along the way into paragraphs. uh, so let's review paragraphs quickly. So whenever you see the writing, you almost always find the paragraph. So let us see what the paragraphs are and how do we develop paragraphs. Paragraphs usually begin with a topic sentence. The topic sentence tells the readers the main idea of the paragraph. So whenever you see a paragraph, it usually, not always, but it usually begins with a topic sentence. Topic sentence is a very important sentence that it is such a sentence that which defines almost all the rest of the sentences which are there in the paragraph. Or you can say it defines the whole paragraph. Or you can also say that it is the main point around which all other supporting details revolves, right? So paragraph you are another point you can say regarding topic sentence that it is kind of the nucleus in the paragraph, right? It tells the reader the main idea of the paragraph. It does not have to come first. Yes, it is not necessarily, it's not obligatory that it will always come at the first or at the start of the paragraph. It can also come in the middle or at the end of the paragraph. But at this stage, I recommend you writing the topic sentence at the start of the paragraph, right? When you become very mature or very advanced or expert a writer, you can use it anywhere in the paragraph, and it might not even be stated explicitly in the paragraph. So sometimes it is not even explicitly given in the paragraph. You just will have to find the topic sentence, right, by rigorous the careful examination. But all the sentences in the paragraph should relate to one main idea. Yes, one paragraph mean one idea, right? If you have 10 paragraph in an essay or in a paper, it does mean you are given you are giving 10 points, right? Because each paragraph possesses one idea. One paragraph should not be having more than one idea, because in this way there will be digression. Whenever digression comes, if digression involved in writing, so writing does not remain fascinating. Do your reader a favor and make it clear what your main idea is. This will avoid misunderstanding. Yes, whenever you are writing something, so try to facilitate your reader by giving your main idea, because it will not create misunderstandings on the part of readers. Second point regarding paragraph is coherent paragraphs flow from sentence to sentence. Yes, your paragraph should be coherent, right? It should be well organized. Well organized does mean one sentence should follow the next sentence naturally, right? Automatically, rhythmically. This means that the sentences are linked to each other logically. Yes, sentences are should be linked to each other logically. It should not be kind of random information, or it should not be the different sentences which are just joined together for the sake of writing something, right? The sentence should be logically linked. You might organize the sentences in a paragraph according to chronological or sequential order. Yes, when you are writing a paragraph, you might or you should follow this step or this thing, that you should give the details chronologically. It does mean put first thing first, or you can say put the first thing which happened first, right? That means you should take care of the uh, timing of the happening of the incident, right? If something happened in 1960 and other thing happened in 1970, you might want to give the details of the thing which first. You might want to give the details of the thing which first which happened in 1960, and then you might want to give the next detail of the event which happened in 1970, right? This is the chronological order or sequential order in which you take care of the sequence by cause and effect. You should might also want to give information. We give the cause first and then effect, and then by comparison and contrast in order of degree or in special order. So you will take care of all these things, right? Because it will make your paragraph more coherent or rhythmic, organized, logical. Good paragraphs include details that support the main idea. Yes, normally good paragraphs include details that support your main idea, because your supporting details should be supporting your main idea. It shouldn't be the case that you have been given one idea, main idea, and then your supporting details do not match or do not relate or do not uphold or do not support the main idea, right? Because in this way, your writing will become boring or even ill form, or you can say incorrect, right? Your supporting details should be supporting the main idea. Supporting details include anecdotes, examples, facts, opinion, quotations, and are statistics that back up the paragraph's main idea. this is the list of the supporting details. It might contain facts, examples, opinion, etc. So all these things support the main idea which have been given in the paragraph. Let us look at a sample paragraph which have been given below. This is the paragraph. Here in the very first sentence we find a topic sentence, right? uh, you can say this is the first sentence. uh, the first sentence has the main idea, right? It tells reader about the main idea in the paragraph. So here I am the kind of person who gets things done correctly, professionally, on time, on budget. So here the writer is praising someone, right? He is telling about the person who who does the thing correctly, professionally, on time, and on budget. Then, in the next portion, this part, in this part, sentence flow from one sentence to another sentence rhythmically, logically, or you can say correctly, right? uh, he systematically describes the impressions of each group of people he interacts with at work, supervisors, co-workers, clients. So here the writer gives us the supporting details of the for the main idea. So these details support the first sentence, right? So he is giving the example how the person is good, right? He tells the interaction he has with the other person, etc. So here the paragraph includes details that support the main idea. We can say that all these details support the main idea. And then overall, at the end, the writer gave the conclusion of the person, or you can say the sequel or the conclusion of the main idea, which we have been introduced at the very start of the paragraph. So you might also want to write such a paragraph in your writing, right? You might also want to use your topic sentence at the start, then you will support your first main topic sentence or the main idea with the help of other supporting sentences. There are many ways to begin drafting a paper into paragraphs, right? So this is one of the ways. You can use different form, a different style for your drafting. So this is one of the ways. So you can also, if you are drafting something, you can write grammatically in this way. First of all, you will give introduction, then thesis statement. We have already discussed this thesis statement in the previous lectures. Then if you are if you're drafting, first of all you will put introduction, then thesis statement, then you can give topic sentences, right? Topic sentence number 1, 2, 3, 4. If you have 4 paragraphs, right, you will give kind of 4 topic sentence, and then at the end you will give conclusion and the linking sentence. Uh, then this is also the same detail. So if you have 2 paragraphs, you will give, first of all, give introduction, then thesis statement, then topic sentence 1, and for the sake of supporting that topic sentence, you will give supporting sentence in the same paragraph, right? So you will just give the main points of the supporting sentence, which is supporting the topic sentence, right? At the end of the paragraph, you will give linking or sentence or concluding, and here in the second paragraph you will give the same thing. You will give the topic sentence number 2, then the supporting details which will support your topic sentence, and then at the end you will give the thesis statement or the conclusion as well, right? So whenever you start drafting or writing, so do not focus on so many things, styles, grammar, etc. at the start. Just support the. You should focus on supporting your thesis statement. Your thesis statement should not be left unsupported, right? This way your writing will be informed. So you should always be able to support your thesis statement. Present. You should be focusing on presenting your information in an easy to follow way, right? Your information should follow in an easy to follow way, right? It can be followed by the readers and by the audience, and the sentence should also follow one another, each other. And you should stay on your topic. You should not show digression. So when you start writing, you might find yourself in a writer's block, and you might find yourself in a difficult situation or conundrum. So in that case, what should you do? You should start where you feel inspired. So you should start writing with a point where you feel inspired, or are more fascinated with, right, are more inclined to. So the second thing is try one of the pre-writing strategies which we discussed in the lesson 3. Pre-writing strategy does mean brainstorming, free writing, etc. So if you are stuck somewhere, so you should follow the pre-writing strategies like like brainstorming, using your outline or free writing, etc. And third point is summarize your point. So try to summarize the point in as simple language as you can, right? Uh, normally you should revise your thesis statement or the favorite point which you have already given in the paper. The next thing is change your perspective. If you find yourself stuck in somewhere in writing or before drafting, so try to change your perspective, right? So try to start writing as a letter to someone else, right? In this way, you will be able to know that to whom you are writing and what should you include in the writing. Try something different. So you can also try something different if you are using if you're typing, you can start writing on paper. So talk it out, you can discuss it with someone else, so that he or she may give you some point to start with. And next thing is visualize yourself writing successfully. Try to visualize yourself that you're writing successfully. In this way you will put yourself in a comfortable zone, right? And stop what you're doing. So if sometime if you find yourself stuck somewhere while drafting or writing, so try to stop it and come back to it with a fresh mind later, right? So here are some good habits to start as you draft. So refer to your thesis statement and your assignment regularly. If you're writing something, so try to refer your thesis statement, your assignment regularly. Try to refer to your thesis statement again and again, because it will keep you focused on the topic. It will not allow you to digress, right? To show digression. And another point is use your outline as a guide. Try not to start writing randomly, right? Try to make an outline first and then follow that outline throughout the writing. It will keep you more focused and organized in writing. Keep a copy of each draft you write. So whenever you write something, keep a copy of each draft, because sometimes you need some information which you have already deleted, etc. So in this way, you should save all the information, all the draft, all the copies of the draft. Last point is make a slush file. So sometimes you remove some information from your writing, right? When you revise the paragraph, when you write the paper or essay, you remove the information. So in that case, do not just remove and delete the information or delete the sentences. Try to make a slush file, and put all those sentences or the words there in the slush file, because you might need them later for writing something else, or for writing the same paper. Thank you very much for watching. If you have any question, please do ask.